So when I work with our clients, there's always a conversation that comes up of how can we target our ideal client avatar or our ideal client profile, ICP, avatar, whatever. A lot of people use these different terms, right? But how do we get the best customers into our firm is what everybody wants to know. And it's a great question because most businesses that are very big operate this way, right? They hone in on the best type of client, they set parameters around that client, and they try and only go after those clients. Right? And we've done the same thing in our business and we really like the direction that it's going. We've actually done it a few times. Sometimes it didn't work out, we were way wrong. Sometimes it worked out really well. So we're at a point now where we have a ton of data behind who our ideal client is and we're going all in on that data, right? And so what a lot of people do, or at least the conversations I have with my clients are, they kind of design this perfect person that doesn't really exist. So I'll give you an example. They say, I want this guy who makes $250,000 a year. I want him to have 3 kids. I want him to have multiple properties, and I want him to be reasonable and all these crazy, crazy details, right? And so we're going to start with the first number there because a number is nice because it's very definitive. So the first number is I want him to make $250,000 a year. Depending on where you're located and what city you're in, that might be in the top 1% of people. And so the problem with that is if you're only targeting the top 1%, there's not a lot of those to go around. And so it's gonna really, really narrow in your pool of people. The other problem with that is everybody else wants that client, right? Everybody has that same ideal client profile. And so it gets really hard when we get super, super picky. And you have to kind of be real with yourself. If you're in a point in your business or like for some of our clients where they say, look, we really, really need to boost our cash flow or we're having a cash crunch, right? Whatever it may be, you have to create that flow before you create that type of friction. And so I want to talk to you about the better way to create an ideal client profile, or at least how we did it for ourselves and how we tell our clients to somewhat do it. And then I'll talk to you about how can we actually target these people, right? So the better way to ideally target your ideal client or get a baseline for what is that revenue number, because this seems to be every family law firm's concern, right, is you have a CRM system like this, right? This is the CRM that we use for our clients, and so we just keep track of new leads, people who book an appointment, people who attend, people who sign, and then ultimately people who pay and become customers, right? And so the best thing that we've seen with our clients is when we start tracking their revenue and put it next to their name in the CRM. Because what this generally does is it shocks everybody, including me, all the time. We see that generally we close clients that don't make as much money as we think. And what we want to do is have a lot of data behind this decision before we really go hard on it. But what we can do is every time we close a client like Bruce Banner, I'm going to put his income right next to it, right? So $47,000. And then I closed Harry Potter for $56,000. I closed Steve Rogers for $73,000. Tony Stark makes $67,500 a year, and then Elliot makes $82,000 a year, right? So I have my 5 clients here. And now what I'm able to do is see what my clients are actually making. Now I can start to build an ideal client profile, at least on that revenue number. Now all the other metrics are going to be a little harder, but let's just say that we look at this list and I happen to name superheroes because all I could think of. I got a guy, a guy, a guy, a guy, a guy, all guys. So now I'm getting a little bit closer to my ideal client profile. Now, if I hate these clients, that's not the best thing to do, right? But let's just say that I love all these clients, they're the best, they pay me on time, they pay my initial retainer, they make their replenishment payments, whatever it is, right? So now I know that I really like working with guys, it seems, and I can close them better perhaps. And I'm starting to get an average salary and a top and a bottom here. Now, if we do this over the course of 100 or 200 or 300 clients, we're gonna have some rock solid data to start to really hone in on that ideal client profile. So let's just say that we did this for hundreds of data points and we really see a trend here. And I promise you will, because it's amazing how this stuff just starts to play out. We're going to start to develop who we want to target. Now, tactically, how do we use this information for our clients? I'm about to show you, right? So I'm going to go here to this cool board. Let's just say that we know that we generally, I need my pencil, we generally work with men who are making between 50K to 85K. and I look up some data in my city that says that this is in the, let's just say 30% and up income bracket. So now I have 2 points that I can actually use on the platform, right? Unfortunately, platforms like Facebook and Google, we can't use personality as a filter. We can write ad copy that can attract certain personalities, which I'll talk about in a second here. But for now, the basis of our campaign is gonna start like this. So when we create our Google Ads campaign, we're gonna only target men. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into Google and we're gonna say only target people in the 30% income brackets and up. And now all of a sudden, we are talking to our ideal client, at least for the most part. Now, let's just say that generally, as a divorce firm, we are not heavy on like fire and brimstone and let's kill each other in court, right? We like a more amicable solution. We like to have a nice resolution, or at least as nice as we can. We're not afraid to fight, but we prefer to have a nice resolution if we can help it, right? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna point these parameters at our ads. And our ads might say something like, don't lose everything in court. And then I put a bar there and I would say, fighting isn't worth it. Right? Obviously that's not my ad copy, but that kind of starts to hone in on the people that we want. So now I'm targeting men who have enough money. We've already determined that they have enough money because we looked at our CRM. And now we're saying, don't lose everything in court. We don't want to go to court. And fighting isn't worth it. So if they see that ad and they resonate with it, now we're way closer to the type of person that we actually want to target. And now we can start to make more money because all of our ad dollars are going into our ideal customer versus the people we don't want to work with. So if you have questions about this type of stuff, leave a comment below, reach out to us. We're happy to talk about it.